and we're going to leave the defense alone. The defense been playing amazingly and wonderful, if we can say it in those terms, Cowboy Nation. But the offense, it's been a situation whereas we've seen this offense, the number two offense in the NFL now. The number one offense, I believe, now is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But consistency, consistency. I looked up a stat, whereas Ezekiel Elliott, he didn't have north of 53 yards since October. That's a long time, October the 17th. With the Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, I've been labeled as a Dak Prescott apologist for some strange reason, whereas I do give critical analysis of Dak Prescott, but people have selective listening or selective hearing. Dak Prescott, the deep ball been missing. Let me repeat, the deep ball been missing. The Cowboys refuse to throw the ball deep, and that has been an issue for us, and that's since the Denver game. Well, Law, how do you create the deep throw? How do you get that deep ball out there? Well, first and foremost, you got to at least attempt to throw it, right? Um, when you look at defenses in general, just like an umbrella, think of an umbrella. And I'm not saying that this is the only defense that all teams play against us, but think of an umbrella. When you open the umbrella up, you have the tip of the umbrella. Quarterbacks are taught. If you're a quarterback and if you're not doing this simple process, then you're not going to make it far. Quarterbacks are taught to read from high to low. Let me repeat, quarterbacks are taught to read from high to low. And what teams been doing since the Broncos game, they've been keeping everybody at top. Now, surprisingly, this past game, they kept one safety up top. They gave you a look, whereas, okay, we going to present that the Buda Bakers of the world is going to climb down to disguise it, what have you, to blitz inside, and Dak Prescott is remarkable against the blitz. But just before the snap, Buda backpedals back, and either he's on top of the roof, and now you have a different look. And we really, Cowboy Nation, Dak Prescott, he's been one of the quarterbacks that's taught to, hey, I'm only going to throw it to the open receiver. They play good coverage. No one's open. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, can elite quarterbacks supposed to beat that? Which I agree. Elite quarterbacks will beat that. But you also you got to have a wide receiver that can take that top off of that umbrella or the top off of that defense. Shout out to you, TA Cowboys. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So my thing is, Cowboy Nation, and shout out to you, Greg Berry. Scheme is not helping that. Yeah, and I'm gonna break down that too when we look into the scheme aspect of it. The scheme of what the Cowboys do. There's nobody that carries underneath. There's nobody literally where your hots or there's a player that comes across the hook area. We don't have that. Now, in the past, hear me out before y'all try to shank me with the butter knife. In the past, they used to have a setup whereas Jarwin, he can climb into the deepers of the vertical middle of the field. And he give you a little bit more than just shallow passes underneath or the hook route underneath. And I think that Jarwin is a little bit more dangerous in that sense, juxtaposed to Schultz. Schultz, intermediate and short routes, killing the game right now. When you look at Schultz tape, the guy can catch a 3-yard pass and turn it to 6 or 7. Now, what Dak Prescott got to do better is protect the ball. And for those who out there say, well, you'll never talk bad about Dak. Well, that fumble was a bad fumble, right? And on top of that, the receivers, when he throwing the ball, he got to climb and set his feet and step up through his throw. If not, the ball will sail on him. The ball will settle on him and go north. That's why I say, man, during the broadcast, you guys hear me saying, man, he tried to throw that ball to Shaq, or he tried to throw that ball to the moon. And the ball has been so high that the receiver got to climb the ball, and they lose a little leverage as relates to that when they come down with it, and they have no room for yards after catch. So those are things that Dak Prescott must do, and he can't be gunshot. I recall the mighty Bill Parcells would tell Tony Romo, because Tony Romo, when he first started off, although Tony Romo was a gunslinger, he wanted to be safe with the ball. Why? Because he was undrafted, and he knew that if he messed up, that somebody else would be sitting right there waiting, saying, okay. But Parcells told Tony, hey, you got to at least attempt to throw that thing to let people know that you got it. I want you to throw me 2 interceptions in practice. I want you to throw me 2 interceptions. What is he saying? You got to fit that ball on the side. You got to be able to have a game plan that's installed, that's ready enough so that your boy, Amari Coopers of the world, can eat. So that your boy, CeeDee Lamb, can eat. You got to give them that opportunity. But if you play it safe, things like that's going to happen. Now, objectively speaking, Cash, you're right on the money. We need rhythm, period. They need first half to have the mindset to score 20 plus. I'm going to touch on that, Cash, and I appreciate you. And we're independently live right now on my YouTube page. I figured that I need to reach out to my YouTube community, and I need to reach out to my Facebook community. But when I'm going live on both, we got a different philosophy of thinking. So we're live, baby, on YouTube only, exclusively. But I'm going to tell you guys, rhythm plays a major role into it all. But the main thing that the Cowboys been missing out on, and the reason why you can really say, hey, this is much more than Dak Prescott issues, it's problematic because, for one, you got your how many millions of dollars? I know that Dak Prescott is $75 million. We know that. We flat out know that. But Ezekiel Elliott, ain't he's like a $90 million running back? And when I look at my notes here, Cowboys Zeke have not rushed for more than 53 yards since October the 7th. Let me repeat. Cowboys Ezekiel Elliott have not rushed for more than 53 yards since October the 17th. This is a whole new year, baby. I can't make this stuff up. Let me repeat for somebody way in the back, Cal. Cowboys Ezekiel Elliott have not rushed for more than 53 yards since October the 17th. You can't win with your running back not getting the production. I absolutely love football, Cowboy Nation. Matter of fact, if I can go into any era with the Cowboys, Troy Aikman is still my quarterback of all time. I would take Troy over Roger. I would take Troy over Tony Romo. I would take Troy over Dak. Troy is my guy. That's the guy that I really fell in love with as it relates to football, Cowboy Nation. But I come here to tell you that Troy Aikman would not be able to be Troy Aikman if Emmitt Smith didn't rush. If I put Cowboys, Emmitt Smith have not rushed for more than 53 yards since October the 17th. Troy Aikman wouldn't be Troy Aikman. Those are the facts, Cowboy Nation. And I'm not hating on either Kellen Moore, nor this offensive line, nor am I hating on Dak Prescott. But you got to figure out a way. Regardless of whether or not it's running back by committee, I don't care about that. Yeah, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And the results should be this right here. Somebody needs to sit down in a meeting and say, hey, I know that we are past happy, but we do not win professional football games on a consistent level like this. Shout out to you, TA. Shout out to you. Kurt Warner had Falk. We can literally, I see you, fam. We can literally go down this whole list. Joe Montana had who? Roger Craig, right? Oh, excuse me. John Elway. He looked a whole lot different when TD was running the ball. Let me know how many Super Bowls John Elway got without TD. But people will continue to move the goalposts, and I get it. I've seen somebody post yesterday in one of my comments saying that, hey, Law, if Dak Prescott want to be considered one of the better quarterbacks, he got to win games like that. You know, he got to win. He's supposed to beat the Arizona Cardinals, just like Pat Mahomes. And I sit there and said, wait a minute, excuse me. Yeah, Pat Mahomes is marvelous, but he just lost by 3 points too. And the last I checked, they both, Kansas City Chiefs 11-5, Cowboys 11-5. But you still have to establish. You still have to establish the run. You have to establish the mindset. Offense is too predictable. Garcia, you right. Look, there's only so many times you can go back to the watering well. Let me repeat, there's only so many times, shout out to you, Paul, that you can go back to the watering well. And the Cowboys with the smoke screen, with the bubble screen, it's time to put the knife in that one. Put the fork in that one. It's done. Cut it open. Spit it out. Cut it out. That play worked marvelous against the Atlanta Falcons and their particular defense. But we tried to do it three or four times in this past game. That's problematic. I would rather see the Cowboys rush for 180 yards and with Dak Prescott throwing for maybe 200 yards a game. If we can really maul the teams and utilize that offensive front. I don't want to hear people say, well, the Cowboys got an excellent offensive line when you got Ezekiel Elliott, who have not rushed for more than 53 yards since October the 17th. Those sentences don't make sense. And on top of that, I don't care about how youthfulnism or how young or how brilliant Kellen Moore is. In January, it used to be in December, but in January, you must run the ball and play good defense. You must run the ball and play good defense. Run the rock. Run the rock. My thing is, I get it. I absolutely get it when your team is looking at for first quarter. And Amari Cooper said it the right way too. He said that you cannot think that we have forever and a time to come back and win games. I'm quite sure, Cowboy Nation, if it was 5 quarters in a game, the Cowboys would have figured out a way to beat the Cardinals. They would have figured it out. They got hot toward the latter part. Then they got starting to play relax or what have you. And we saw some plays manifest into some good ones, right? But football is 4 quarters. And you have to look into it as it relates to this playoff atmosphere now, because this is the craziest thing about it. This Saturday, I know they changed the game from Sunday to Saturday, but this Saturday, you playing a playoff caliber team. That's the Philadelphia Eagles, believe it or not, like Ripley's. They on a 4-game winning spree. They're on a 4-game. Shout out to you, Sadiq. We appreciate you for jumping in. A 4-game winning spree. And when the Cowboys take care of business, they're going to sweep that under the rug. The next opponent, I believe, if everything shake out the way it's going to be, you got to play against the Arizona Cardinals once again. And the guy, Kyler Murray, is 9-0. The Cowboys played timid with him. Even though if you look at my previous film assessment, you will see, Cowboy Nation, that they got after Kyler Murray at too late. He done already did his damage in the first quarter. He already took the mindset from you. And then when you realize, oh, if you put a little pressure on, balls will sell. Well, they're knocking on the table right now saying, well, Law, they were without this, they were without that. And the players, the problematic of the players, Cowboy Nation, on the offensive side of the coin is that it's just that they don't believe in themselves. Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott got to at least attempt to throw the ball, the deep ball. I don't care what coverage, umbrella, a UFO. I don't care. You got to at least attempt to throw the ball deep. Pump fake it. Hey, close your eyes and say, for the love of Allah. You know what I'm saying? And throw that thing. Because that's what Murray did. Third and long. Cowboys putting pressure on me. I got Diggs one-on-one to the outside here with an old man Green. I know for sure, I trust my defense enough that even if it's a turnover, it's third down, it's the first quarter, I know for sure that my defense can at least rally back. That should be our mindset. Greg Berry says, get under center. Yeah. Now, here's the craziest thing, and I like my guy, Coach Marv. He always brings some good attention to the table when we do our joint collab talk or when we have call-ins or what have you. Coach Marv always say Cowboys got a powered offense, physical offense as it relates to offensive line, but a finesse offensive coordinator, meaning that they like to do things cute. You got the ability. I don't think that there's a team that's out there that would say, hey, you know what? As an offensive lineman. Matter of fact, I don't even want to hold it to just that, Cowboy Nation. I want to tell you guys this right here. Even if you played football in middle school and high school, some variations of college, and if you are an offensive lineman, let me know. Would you rather be in pass protection or would you rather run block? Let me know. I'm talking to my big boys now. I'm talking to my big boys. I ain't talking to the DB world. I ain't talking to none of the linebackers today. I'm not talking to none of the wide receivers. I'm talking to my offensive linemen. Let me know. Would you rather run block or pass block? I want to know. I want to know to the big boys if you are. I guess I don't got no money. I don't got no offensive lineman watching right now. Lisa says, well, no, I don't know you play football, Lisa. Greg Berry says, run block all day, baby. Yeah. Something else says run block, baby. Yeah. Hey, as a big boy, the first thing you want to do is hit something. Cash says run block. They want to run. Shh. Kellen Moore, I love Kellen Moore. Youthfulness is his third year ever being offensive coordinator. And if he takes that job down there in Jacksonville, maybe he can be freed of all of the insecurities, right? Maybe he can just say, hey, this is my team. I tell everybody when to go to bath, take their bath and when to go to bed. This is my house now. I'm Big D now, baby. You know, I'm King Kong. Can't nobody tell me nothing, baby. And he can run his program because sometimes you don't run the program you want to run when you got somebody over your shoulder, right? But one thing that I want Kellen Moore to understand, when you got Lyle Collins, Zach Martin, just look up Zach Martin. Whether you use Pro Football Focus, Next Gen, Stats, ESPN, look up Zach Martin. And you have Tyron Smith. Those boys want to kill something. Literally. Don't take me down YouTube because I use the word kill. But they want to kill something that's in front of them. You pull those boys and you say, mano y mano, first quarter, I don't give a dog if we get 1.8 yards. I'm going to run this ball 3 times down your neck. And I don't care if the officials, I want the officials when we pull and we do toss, right? I want the officials, if they want to keep calling holding, well, damn it, they're gonna have more yards than me throwing that flag because I'm going to establish that mindset that when they come into Dallas, that man, we know one thing. Shoot, that all those offensive linemen, they coming. Those big boys are coming. They pulling me out of the way. There'll be many a players tapping the helmet. Coach, get me up out of here. Coach, we got to get up out of this. We got to get up out of this shallow look. We got to get some. Look, them DBs. Look, there's not a DB on this planet, whether he's safety or a cornerback, that's willing to tackle Collins 3 to 4 times consistently. There's not one. And that's the only way that you're going to get them up out of that umbrella look. Yes, you can throw some bubble screens underneath, but that's what they want. They're not intimidated by C.D. Lamb. They're not intimidated by Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup when he was on the team. Of course, we hope all is well. They'll tackle that all day. Linebackers, they'll tackle that all day. But you get to pulling, and I don't care if it's 2-3, 2-3, 2-3. But watch. That dam will eventually break. Normally it happens in the second and third quarter. But you got to have your mindset. And the craziest thing of it all, when y'all see Dak Prescott do that rollout play, and he rolled to one side, he lined up on the center, and he do that little rollout play, and y'all know what play I'm talking about. It works better when you've been running the ball. There's been so many times we see shotgun. Oh, Dak Prescott is under center. You know what he's about to do? So many times. What's up with you too, Rand? Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you, Rays. Facts. GM, good morning to you too, Jay Lombardi. Appreciate y'all. I can't stress it out enough to tell Kellen Moore to run the ball, but I just wanted to say this with the problematic offense or what have you. We must get into rhythm. And it sounds like a broken record now. But we can't get into rhythm. Hear me out. When you don't execute the plays too. And I pulled up the stat. Teams that are above 500. Cowboys 7 games against teams that's above 500. Do you guys know the record? Talking about for this year, Cowboy Nation. Could they keep moving the goalposts? Cowboys are 3-4 versus team above 500. This year, the Cowboys, as far as Dak Prescott, he threw for 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. With the completion percentage of 71.1, passer rating 101.3. That's Dak Prescott numbers with teams above 500. In games of Dak Prescott versus team below 500, he's 21 touchdowns with 6 interceptions. Passer rating completion percentage is 65.5. Passer rating 102. Now I challenge anybody to do your homework and let me know where I'm wrong. But the record is 3-4. So the notion that the Cowboys can't beat a team that's above 500 is false. But the problem is that the spotlight, when those teams are good and the Cowboys somehow lose, is brighter than any other spotlight on the planet Earth. It's bright. And the Cowboys, dare I say, always get the center of the attention. Now, we just lost the game by 3 points. And if you look at my comment section on all of my videos, you would think it was by 30. I get it. We want to win every game. I get it. Everybody want Aaron Rodgers. Everybody want us to trade for Russell Wilson, whose team is 6-10, by the way. And I get it. They're gonna say, well, he didn't have the weapons that he have over here. Well, damn it, he don't have the attention too. He don't have the attention. Can you imagine Sierra over here and she 1-2 stepping? It'll be all over the news. It'll be everywhere. It'll be everywhere. Sierra, what wig piece she wearing this weekend? What outfit? Oh, Russell Wilson, what outfit you gonna wear? You know, it's crazy. The attention level here in Dallas is different. And I was trying to tell people about that when they was trying to bang on the table to go get Cam Newton. I said the moment he put on that Medea hat and that outfit, man, the Cowboy news media would eat it up. But call me crazy. We're complaining about 11-5. Kansas City Chiefs 11-5 as well. There's a plethora of other teams that's not doing as well as we think they are. Now, granted, I get it. We look at this team and we say 25 years. Newsflash. Nobody on this roster been here for more than 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Now, unless it's Stephen Jones or Jerry Jones. But let's not do that. We got this Philadelphia Eagles game coming up. Cowboys got to regroup. That's a playoff team. And we got to figure something out with that, right? And then on top of that, whoever we play, Cowboys better realize and recognize that you can't start off slow, right? Jesse, appreciate you for jumping in. All right, Mike McCarthy needs to get the team hyped up for a team like the Cardinals. Yeah. What's up with y'all, Ray? Shout out to TJ Lombardi. Shout out to everybody that's watching. All right, Cash, what's up, man? Let's say this about Kellen Moore. He was the backup quarterback, came from Boise, and yes, he had earned an offensive coordinator. However, offense need two play styles to put on, which is a run and play action. Kellen Moore had a rapid promotion. And to me, as a quarterback coach, because it's a lot of cronyism and nepotism with Kellen Moore's productions on how he got his role and how he got his job. And I'm not saying that Kellen Moore is doing a horrible one. It's hard to argue that for majority of the league, for the 2021 season, you've been ranked number one on offense. Now you're ranked number 2. Shout out to you, B-New. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Been a member for 3 months, man. I really appreciate you. Or 2 months. It's quite the realest part of it is that he's not ready. He's only been the offensive coordinator for 3 years. And if he goes to be a head coach somewhere else, there will be a lot of growing pains. And his first thing, if he's a head coach, watch. He's going to pick up the phone and he's going to call Scott Linehan or he's going to call Jason Garrett to work in his facility to help him out. Or he's going to reach out to some of his guys that he knows on the defensive side. But we know collectively speaking, Cowboy Nation, that if we can see the problems as it relates to the run, if we can see it and we are not getting paid millions of dollars, we don't have access to all 22 until like 48 hours after the game, right? But if we can I've literally seen you guys sit down while I was doing my play-by-play, y'all call out the play before it even happened. Not even talking about even if it is a delay between me and you, but some of y'all know it for sure. Like Cowboys about to run this play. I seen this play last week. I seen this play earlier in the game. You're going to have to fix up a few things. I think that Kellen Moore is a brilliant guy, but we see the growing pains. We do. We do. We see the growing pains, and we have to be the ones to fall on the sword with that. Bring in John Kittner for a cup of coffee. It's too much politics in there, man. In the party, reason why I like John Kittner is because he didn't baby Dak Prescott. Let me say this again. The reason why I like John Kittner is because he didn't baby Dak Prescott. I don't think that Doug Nussmeier nor Kellen Moore have the cojones to sit Dak Prescott down and say, hey, man, you know when you climb the pocket and you was hesitant to throw the ball to Lamb. Lamb was wide open in the flats. I know what play. I know y'all saw that play. He was wide open. Dak hesitant. And I'm not dogging Dak for the people that really come at me for saying that. But the coach, John Kittner, would have said, you got to rip that one through. You got to rip that one through. Shout out to you, B New. Great channel, sir. Just supporting the channel. Keep Kellen Moore, bro. Jaguars don't need Kellen Moore. We need a veteran coach. And more importantly, a GM that will help create a better culture. If you need a veteran coach, I would say this for B New right now. And thank you for supporting, bro. Appreciate you. B New. Jaguars. They got my guy from DeSoto. His name's at the tip of my tongue. The wide receiver. They got the running back who didn't get a chance or the opportunity to run this year due to an injury. And you got Trevor Lawrence. What's that dang on guy from DeSoto? Y'all let me know what's his name. His name is tip of my tongue. Those three guys right there is enough. But you got to get the coach that can understand that. It's going to take time. Not James Robinson. It's the other guy. He went to Colorado. He's at the tip of my tongue. Ah, shoot. Chenault. Y'all got Chenault. Y'all look up Chenault. Chenault is a dog, baby. That boy is he got a bright future. And ENT, they got ENT, Law, and Chenault. Those three right there is enough. You build around that Leviticus Chenault. Appreciate you. If the Jaguars build around that, the defense, they're going to have some good picks for the defense. The Jaguars, the Travis Etienne, yeah, the Jaguars can really do something. But they just got to slow it down, build properly. And like B News said, if Kellen Moore go there, Kellen Moore can literally, he can improve that offense. I guarantee you that offense will be top five offense. But he got to understand, he got to use his weapons as it relates to that running back. But neither here nor there. Back to the Cowboys talk. But I like Chenault. Chenault, man, he's right down the street, man, here in DeSoto, man. So shout out to Chenault and his whole entire family and everybody, man. I think his uncle or someone was hitting me up saying, "Hey, Law, y'all need to draft Chenault." But neither here nor there. I wanted to do this show for only 30 minutes to give you guys my thoughts before I dive deep into my work over here. And I really appreciate you guys for being part of this episode. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Cowboys, looking at my notes here from last night and looking at some of the film once again. We got to get in rhythm. We have to have those installment plays that we know for sure that can work like bread and butter on the run. And we can't continue to do 21 slam, halfback slam, gut buster. You know what I'm saying? Right in the middle, and we averaging 1.8 yards. And then you can't continue regardless of the situation and say, all right, we're going to give Tony Pollard 3 attempts. You can't do that. So it's such an alarming situation. Such an alarming situation that I'm in disbelief that this is the Cowboys. I cannot believe Kellen Moore would call up and dial up an offense like that. So that's why I said, man, they got to be sandbagging. I don't think of a game plan, regardless of the situation, that you look at Amari Cooper and you only got 7 targets. I just don't see that. I absolutely can't see that being processed. And then your next targeted guy, he only got 8, and that's CeeDee Lamb. And then you give the bulk of your targets to Schultz. I'm like, dang. If I'm Amari Cooper and I'm CeeDee Lamb, when the game was over with, I'm jumping in the car with Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Dak be like, hey, man, why you jump in the car with me? What we done? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm asking Dak. I'm to that point. If I'm Amari Cooper and Dak is leaving and I'm getting in the car with Dak, hey, what you doing? I'm spending the night with you, dog. You gonna give me this ball. I'm CeeDee Lamb. Dak like, what the hell you doing? I'm in the car with you. You gonna give me the ball. Appreciate the donation. I'm to that point. If you look at 2019, this is from Jake, in 2021, the offense was electric the first half of the season. In the second half of the year, the offense struggled. That's on Kellen Moore. Yeah. You got to make the necessary adjustment. Jay Lombardi, you said it, baby. You said it, man. I'm supposed to do this show for only 30 minutes, but I love y'all. Keep going. He says Cooper needs to be force-fed at least 12 targets a game. Adams. I know it's a different guy, and I know this is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is good. Aaron Rodgers is good. I'm not going to say Aaron Rodgers is trash. But Adams had 10 targets before halftime. Look at his targets. And that's what I need to do. I'm going to pull up the chart, and I'm going to just show the targets. I'm just going to show the targets of Adam versus Cooper. Just the targets. In economics, I'm an econ major, by the way. There's this thing called law of average. And the law of average states that if I continue to throw it at that particular spot, eventually the favor is going to fall upon me. If I'm just playing the law of average. Look, you can't hit the lotto without playing it, Cowboy Nation. If I just target outside runs, I can flip it. If the Cowboys just attempt to do an outside run, don't y'all know that the Cowboys average, I believe, 7.2 yards per outside run? That's a good number. It's just a law of average. If I just say, hey, if I'm gonna run to the outside and I'm averaging 7.2, I know that number is inflated because of Tony Pollard, but dog it, what's 7 times 3? That's first down, baby. I can't make this stuff up. So when I look at the game plan and they refuse to rush it on the outside and they playing pass defense, I'm going crazy. I'm flat out going like, wait a minute. I don't, at this point, I don't care if we have Joe Montana under center. If you're averaging that much running on the outside, run the rock. We can fix it, but they just got a game plan to do it. You know what? Sometimes you got to deal with what you know. Your mindset may be set to such that, hey, this is our philosophy of winning games. This is how we gonna do it to win the game. Hold on, let me read this comment right quick. Shout out to Miss Washington. Hey, Law, I'm not here to bash Dak this morning, but he haven't looked right, and he's not the total problem. A frustrated fan. Yeah, he's not the total problem. Yeah. I agree. We done watched too much football. We watched too much football in our lifetime to know that he's not the total problem. Now, he can be a piece of it, but we know that he's not the total problem. I just mentioned that, hell, they was averaging right at 7 yards rushing to the outside. But sometimes you just got to do what you can do best to win games. The Philadelphia Eagles, they won 4 games in a row, but they understand, okay, man, we don't have a quarterback that can throw pretty good, but we got one thing that's cooking for us, and that's running the rock. There's nobody in the National Football League right now running the ball better than the Eagles. I don't care what level of competition that they're running against, but the Eagles figured it out. We're going to play good defense, and we're going to run the ball. We're going to try to do it just like that. Telio says NFL is scripted. Hey, I ain't gonna argue with you on that, but they need to run those scripts and send it in. Jerry Jones, whatever money that you got to pay the man. Jeez, we tired of this. Let me see. Swayze says Dak won't lose you the game, but he won't win it for you. He's also Alex Smith. Cowboys 11-5. Cowboys 11-5, baby. And if that's the philosophy that you want to exhibit, I'm dog sure what's the philosophy of Kellen Moore? Will he win you the game or will he lose you the game from an offensive standpoint? From an offensive standpoint, he's all in the same boat. Kingsbury look way better than Kellen. Kingsbury is the head coach. And Kingsbury's resume is better because he coached in college by himself. And now he's the head coach of an organization. Before we get these guys to be elevated, just my same stance with Jason Garrett, I wanted Jason Garrett to at least be a coach for a college team for a couple of years. Then come over here and coach the Cowboys. And then we can go through some growing pains from that way, right? Kellen Moore should have did the same. JT, NFL equals rigged. Look up ultimate receptions to see. I feel you. It's entertainment, baby. I wonder how many fans people had us losing to the Chiefs and the Cardinals. And now we're at 11-5. Natasha. Shout out to you, Natasha. Yep. I had us 13-4. And in my predictions, the 2 games that I had us losing was against the Cardinals and the Chiefs. I had us beating the Raiders, and we lost to the Raiders. And I didn't see the Denver game coming, and we lost to the Denver. So we are at now 11-5. I'll take 11-5. I'll take 12-5. Matter of fact, I would take anything north of 8, right? So from my perception or prospect of this game or this season, perspective of looking at everything, I think the Cowboys are having a successful one with the second year of Mike McCarthy with Dak Prescott and the first year ever with Dan Quinn. Now I can hear the Eagles fans now saying, hey, we made it to the playoff with the first year ever with our head coach. Optimism is flowing pretty good in the NFC, but we will see who rises to the top at the end, right? But there will always be Cowboy Nation. There will always be, yeah, there will always be a skeptic. we got a guy named Skeptical Cowboy fan, a skeptical cowboy, and you got to have those. I guess those are the people that keep everybody in line. Give the office to Mike McCarthy. I would give the offense to Mike McCarthy. I would flat out give the offense to Mike McCarthy. Under this condition, you can't give it back. You can't give it back. You will have to give the offense to Mike McCarthy and say, Kellen Moore, you gone. Right? You can't put the toothpaste back into the tube. And once it's out. If Mike McCarthy ultimately take over the play calling, well, why you got Kellen Moore? To advise him? It don't work that way. Yeah. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think that I'm talking scared. But if you give them, and then if I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm delegating, right? I'm trying to squeeze out the money from Jerry Jones as long as possible. You know, that's just how that goes. If y'all want me to talk real, if y'all want me to be fake, if I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm not finna cut my nose off to spite my face or cut my legs from under my feet. We talking about millions. We ain't talking about somebody. Look, we ain't talking about somebody that making $100,000 a year. We talking about millions. And I'm not finna cut my nose off to spite my face. I need somebody that I can lean my weight on if something happened in the pinch to get me more lives, right? Jason Garrett played that game. It's everybody's issue but mine, right? It's Kellen Moore who did that. And then when Kellen Moore moves on, it's Ben McAdoo who did that. Oh, it's Dan Quinn. It's not me. That's deflection, right? People fail to realize we talking millions. Hey, man, Kellen Moore shouldn't take that job over there in Jaguar land. Shoot. It's less pressure. You on the beach, and you finna get millions. And on top of that, you won't be scrutinized, and it's yours. I don't know anybody that's in here just watching. If you still staying with your parents, go stay by yourself for a while, and you make enough money. You make enough money to be by yourself. You ain't finna go back and stay with mama and them. No. You get to walk around in your own house in your birthday suit. Put something down on the side of the table and say, I wish somebody move it. Or you go to the John with the door wide open. I wish somebody say, hey, close that door. You know what I'm saying? You're smelling up the hallway. This is my house. Kellen Moore can't do that now. You can't wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning rumbling through the refrigerator. But as a man that's standing on his own, I'm talking real stuff to y'all right now. Shoot. Ain't nothing like having your own. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Hey, who gonna tell me to turn TV off? It's my house. But you in somebody else's house? Hey! You down there, turn that TV off. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, Mom, I'm turning the TV off. Hey, shut that door out there, you're making all that noise. You going around there shutting doors. Oh man, we don't want to talk too loud. Mama said. Shoot. But when it's your own baby, let me know if I'm lying. Sheila laughing. Sheila Neal laughing. But with nothing like having your own house, ain't that right, Choctaw? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like having your own, baby. And you gonna protect it. My house, baby. Kelly Moore, baby, hey, audible again. Audible again. Audible again. Audible out of my play call again. He can't say that now. Mike McCarthy probably agrees that he can audible. But down there in Jaguar land, hey, you run the play that I say run. We can't win at home. This money. We can win at home. Last year our defense was our goal. So next year is going to be the offense. Shout out to you, 24/7 Cowboy. Appreciate the donation. The Cowboys got to establish a lot of things. It's problematic with our offense as it relates to rhythm. And we can't be mad at the sun for it shining bright. But when the spotlight points out the things that we have issues at, the core of the problem is going all the way back to what I said a couple of videos ago. The game is won and lost in the trenches. The game is won and lost in the trenches. So Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Tyler Biotis, Zach Martin, and Lyle Collins. They got to go to this offensive coordinator and they got to go to Dak and say, hey, before we start all of this passing stuff, let's set the tone. Let's punch whoever we face in the mouth first. Let's start the run to set the play action. It'll make it comfortable for you in the third and fourth quarter. Trust me. But we're going to run this rock down the throats and we're going to continue to run. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, let's go. Let's get on this thing. Let's rush it to open up the passing lanes for Dak Prescott and the wide receivers. Wide receivers, y'all do y'all job. Come block for us. Let's go run this thing. And it'll open it up. You think I'm lying? Actually, Denver Broncos. There's no one to push Dak. Dak muscles throws the ball. Football, Kellen is basically basic for Dallas, not like Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, I mean, my brother, now outside of Trey Lance, he's pretty good. My brother is a diehard 49er fan. And he calls me before and after every game, or he hit me up, and he talk about his frustrations with Jimmy Garoppolo. In a cocaine heartbeat, he would trade Jimmy Garoppolo for Dak Prescott, right? How do you say Jimmy's name? Jimmy Cheese, right? But he looks at it like, okay, well, Trey Lance, he's a dog. You can't wait to see Trey Lance out there. But he's looking at the fact that the Cowboys' offensive line and what we got, and he's looking at what Kyle Shanahan does with his offensive line and what he got. And trust me, they got one of the better tacklers in the league, right? He said, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. And if you look at what Deebo Samuels is top 5 wide receiver in the NFL right now. Can you imagine what Amari Cooper would do in the 49ers system? Can you imagine what even CeeDee Lamb would do in the 49ers system? In the system. So I can only imagine if you just pick up Kyle Shanahan and you put him in this particular system, let him coach this team, and you pick Kellen Moore, you put him over there, let him be the head coach, or Mike McCarthy over there, right? But it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. I talked to y'all long enough, man. Baby! Jeez. Boy, they don't target Coop enough. You're right. We'll find out, man. It could be that he's sandbagging. That's the only thing. That's why I said, ain't no way. We done watched too much football. It could be that he's sandbagging. Shout out to you, Gina. Um, it could be that he's sandbagging, and I know that there's low-hanging fruit for a lot of people, but I'm saying that what I'm saying. I'm speaking my truth. If he's sandbagging and he gonna come out and he gets 7 books next game, we were sitting there like, all right, cool. But then, hear me out, Cowboy Nation. The narrative will still be that it's the NFC East, right? That's what Cowboys do. We beat up on the NFC East, regardless of whether or not the Eagles are a playoff team. So I'm quite sure that this team is going to look explosive Saturday night. But when we played in the playoffs, if we look like, I'm going to give you guys my first rant. If we look like what we look like this past game in the playoffs, I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to go full throttle, Shango style. But that's been my time, Cowboy Nation. I really thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Oh, by the way, if you're on my Facebook page, come join me. I'm going to do a quick 15-minute Facebook because I'm supposed to do 15 minutes here and 15 minutes on Facebook. I should have just ripped the Band-Aid off and did all the shows at once. But I'm going to jump to Facebook and do a quick 15-minute video there. But shout out to everybody. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. One love, baby.